Okay, I'm just going to start. Let me know if you have any questions. The binomial, if you will, goes down the side over here. X and 4. The inside of your generic rectangle is all of this stuff. That comes from the inside, the guts. Your job is to figure out what went along the top here, meaning x plus 4 times what is equal to this. So we know that the first thing of your polynomial has to go inside the top left box. That's 5x cubed. Basically, that's how you'll start all of these. The binomial goes down the left side, and the first item goes inside the top left. And then, whatever you put right there, multiplied by this x, has to equal 5x cubed, which means it has to be 5x squared. And once you put the 5x squared there, you multiply the 5x squared and this 4 to get what's inside this lower left box, 20x squared. For the most part, the diagonals, these two boxes right here, are like terms. And you need to be able to add them together to get the x squared term in the problem. Since we have 20x squared, we need to add something to equal 12x squared, and that something is negative 8x squared. Now those two guys add to 12x squared. Once you insert the negative 8x squared, you know what has to go above it, because multiplying the x times that blank spot has to equal that guy, so it is negative 8x. Negative 8x times 4 goes in this bottom box here, negative 32x. And the diagonals have to add to be negative 28. Therefore, this empty spot here is positive 4x. Which means this needs to be a 4. 4 times that x gives you the 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. Once this location right here becomes a whole number with no variable, you are done. You just need to figure out the remainder. This guy right here would be the remainder. These two guys need to add to be 16. So this right here, this empty spot is 0, meaning no remainder. So what we wrote across the top of our generic rectangle is the solution to this problem. It has no remainder. That was friendly. We are going to do remainder on number 2. We still have time. We're good. Number 2. Focus. Why is it not focusing? Dang it. Mr. Powers is a jerk. He broke it. X negative 3. 6x to the 4th. Is everybody set up? Molly, you're yawning on camera.
Just have fun. That's fun.
6x cubed goes above the 6x to the 4th. So down here you would have negative 18x cubed, multiplying these two together. Your diagonals need to add to negative 16x cubed, so we need a positive 2x cubed to get that. Above the 2x cubed would be 2x squared. Multiplying these two together, you get negative 6x squared. Uh-oh. How many x squared terms are there in the problem? None. There's 0. We need to make sure our diagonals add to 0 x squareds. So what has to go in the spot? Positive 6x squared. So that when you add them together, you don't have any x squareds. That would make this a 6x, and this fella negative 18x. Positive 5x would give you the negative 13 that you need. So positive 5 and negative 15. You got to your whole number with no variables. That means we are done except figuring out the remainder. What has to go here to add to negative 15 to become negative 16? Negative 1. Now that's the remainder. When you write your answer, grab the stuff that's along the top. Don't ever use the letter R like you did in 3rd grade. You grab the remainder, you put it on top of the binomial that you're factoring by, and you do it carefully. Meaning, since the remainder is negative, you write minus. Then you put the remainder on top of that binomial. And I said carefully because here's how you're going to do it incorrectly, and I have to mark it wrong. And by have to, I mean with pleasure. Ready? Ready? Here it is. It looks very similar. See it? That means this fraction has to be multiplied by 5, and it's not multiplied by 5. So because that negative 1's floating up there, it changes the solution to this guy. So a negative or a positive means this is a minus or a plus. Don't float it up in the numerator. This one is bad.